A couple of people asked me how I made my splash screen, so I decided to make this video with a detailed explanation. It's actually pretty simple. I'm not an animator, a Photoshop artist, or a sound designer. You can really do it yourself easily. To help you out, I'll upload all the assets I used to my Google Drive in an archive, and I'll leave the link in the description along with links to all the modules and web resources I used. First, let me show you how it looks in action. So you have that fancy background, which I made myself, you can say that. Spinning cogs, sparkling lightnings, the menu, and the buttons, the working buttons. This one, with sounds. This one's my favorite. Achievements are in progress. Currently there is just a sound. Alright, now what I used to create this. Mainly 90% it's Monk's active tile triggers for making all the tiles interactive. Sequencer for those animated cogs, and Jules and Ben's animated assets for sparkling animation. I leave the path in the description as well. Now menu and background apart from the animated part of it and the menu frame, the buttons, the font, the cogs, all ripped from Russian MMORPG Allods Online. The animated part of background taken from mylifewallpapers.com, I will show you. Button sounds, all of them ripped from Allods Online, apart from the World Mysteries button. Which is from Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Let's start from the beginning, from the farthest one, the background. So I downloaded it from My Life Wallpapers, the animated part of it. Downloaded it on this free resource. Then I used an official Allods Online art for ship interior. Then I uploaded it here on Remove Background. And I simply used the erase tool to manually erase every part of window of the viewport until it's mostly, almost completely went transparent where I needed it. Now for some reason it's just laggy, but this is how it works. You choose the erase tool and slowly erase what you need. This is how I got my result. I'm not a Photoshop artist, I can't do it in Photoshop. I know it would be tenfold easier, but yeah, had to use what I knew. Yeah, then I went to onlinevideocutter.com/add image to video, and I uploaded this video that I downloaded here. Then I uploaded this ship interior that I made, and then I just cropped this video over here. That's it. Simple as that. Oh yeah, now it worked. Yeah, you can see it, something like that, and you can see it becomes transparent. Yeah, you see this checkmate button. Okay. Now, the menu, the main part. Now, how I arranged it. It consists of three main elements. Let me move that for a second. So that metal thingy, the main frame, and this little background. Sorting these layers correctly is crucial, and FoundryVTT's sorting system can be messy, especially if you're unfamiliar with it like I am. And it took me about 2 hours to get things working properly on a really intuitive level, and even now it's not perfect because some cogs are missing, so extra cogs should have been here, but I just can't manage how to arrange the layers, so I decided to remove them. I'll click through each tile to show you its layers. So this one doesn't really matter, but it's 138 for some reason. This one is 99, the farthest one, and the toppest one is that one. Yeah, and then this one. That's the most front one. Right. Yeah, now the cogs. Cogs is fun. So, the tricky part, really. I couldn't figure out how to make a tile rotate itself continuously using sequencer. I made those cogs using sequencer. I'm not an animator. So those are the cogs that are not working. Basically a great example. So cogs are actually a transparent picture of nothing, right? You can Google transparent PNG nothing and you will just, well, you will find nothing. The picture of nothing, that's what I used. And then I wrote a sequencer script, yeah, to make that nothing something. Let me demonstrate it. Let me open up the sequencer manager and stop all the animations and you will see that there is nothing. There is nothing. But the tiles are here. You can see the outlines. Now, what I did, step by step. First of all, we want to find this tile on the canvas, right? So let's double click on it. And there is that copy document to UID button, click. Copy it here. Now what we need is that path, right? We have scene.tile.this, and this is what we need. It's the link to the tile. That's what we need. So we cut that, we remove the rest. Then we create a variable that will hold that the reference to this tile, right? For example, tileLeftSpin, right? We write canvas.tiles.get, and then in quotes I put in the link to this tile. Okay, what happens then? When I run this script, a new sequence is created. When I run the script, it's an effect. I attach this effect to this tile that we just created a reference to in this variable, right? So here's the variable that we created, and we attach this effect to this variable, to this tile, make it persist, which means that it will not end. It will just keep spinning. Yeah, it will keep being animated. Then we give it some look, right? So I give it a look of the cog that I want to see there, right? I want certain cog to be rotated, and I can make the effect of this cog on the tile to rotate persistently. To rotate persistently, I use loopProperty. First argument is sprite. Don't bother, just type in sprite here. Then you type in the string of an animation type that you want. For example, a rotation, and then there is a options object that is from 0 to 360 degrees in my case, and duration in milliseconds, 10,000 milliseconds, which is 10 seconds. Then there is that sortLayer, and you can remember that now I need them, right, to be behind that metal overlay thing, but above that mainframe thing, right? So the sortLayer of that tile should be less than the sortLayer of that thing, and the sortLayer of that thing is 502, so the sort layer of these tiles should be, for example, 500. Yes, it should be bigger than that, bigger than sort layer of this main frame, but lesser than the sort layer of that tile. And then finally, as the ending of the sequence is dot play method to start this animation, right? And now let's quickly bring everything back as it was, right? And here is this macro I created, and I click on it to execute it, and voila! You can see that the effect was attached to that tile, that tile, that tile, and now it's spinning. And here in Sequencer Manager, which you can launch by going into the token controls all the way down to show Sequencer Manager, you can see in Manager those effects they're spinning, baby, persistently. Right, that's the best I could do. That's my walk around. Fine. And now the buttons, finally. Setting up the buttons. Each button consists of 3 elements. Text. Nothing fancy about that, just the text. And then there are 2 elements here. 2 main elements. The pressed button, which has 0 functionality, is just for the view. So you just create this one and put it here. And then literally above it, so you can see the coordinate of this is 96266, and coordinate of that is 96266. So literally above it, the main button. So when you click it, what happens? When you click it, it becomes hidden. You can see now. Look at it. You see, it becomes hidden, and you can see then the pressed button. So what I do is when I click on it, I just hide that button, the top button. I hide it, and then after a third of the second, I reveal it again. This is how it looks. This is made with Monk's Active Tile Triggers module. Monk's Active Tile Triggers. You go to this tile. You go to Triggers. Let's look at the setup first. So it's active, of course. Allow all tokens controlled by anyone. When do we want all of that to happen? The button to be hidden, the sound to be played, the journal to be opened, on click, right? So we choose just on click here, just one on click. Then there are actions. To add action, you click here. Now here you can see in bold text, you can see the exact names of the actions used for all of those actions, right? Now we can see that when we click, first of all, it hides. Hide this tile. No? Hide this tile. Yeah. So if you edit it, you can see how it looks like. You choose state hide. Don't specify duration, I guess. Or maybe you can specify duration. I don't know. Well, anyway, maybe this is the better approach. Maybe I missed it when I was doing that. So this is how I made it. I made it to when you click it, it is hidden, and then after third of second, after 0.3 seconds, there is an action to show this tile again. So maybe we can forfeit these 2 actions and just set a duration of its state of being hidden here. You can try it out. I'm lazy. Yeah, so you just click on that button to make it working on this tile. Then it plays a sound file, a button press. It waits for 0.3 seconds, then shows it again. It opens up a journal. It's the main functionality of that button, is to open up a journal. This is how it works. So you go to journal. This is a point of interest button, right? It looks like this. So you gotta, first of all, you want to specify show to triggering player here, otherwise it will be shown to everyone. And then you want to click on this crosshair here, select entity. Literally go to your journal here, find the journal you needed, and click on it. Here we go. It is selected. Update. Great. Cool. And then it plays the sound like the spell book open. I didn't write the book with C and K. It was ripped from Allods Online. I promise. Yeah. Now there are a couple of nuances. Let me just quickly put that bastard back. Right, so bestiary, for example, opens up a macro. Right? Here's the macro, open bestiary. So first of all, you need to drag the macro onto the hotkey menu. And then here it looks like this. It calls the run macro. And you need to click on crosshair and click on this macro in the hotkeys. I tried to do it with Compendia, but it doesn't work. So in Monk's official guide, it's stated that you can select it from this menu, but doesn't work for me. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the sparkling thingy. So just a tile with animation from Jules and Benz. I just found it. Static electricity. I will leave the path in the description anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So this is how I made my splash screen. Hopefully this breakdown helps you to set up your own. Let me know if you have any questions, and check the description for all the resources. You can ask anything in comments, and good luck!